Money can buy yachts, mansions, even private islands. But the real flex? Owning creatures so rare, so exotic that only billionaires can afford them. Stick around until the very end because we're talking about creatures so rare, so breathtaking, that most people will never see them outside of a screen. From a lizard that could pass for a dinosaur, to a monkey that looks hand-painted. These aren't just animals. They're status symbols, living trophies that scream one thing: exclusivity. Red-shanked Duke Langur. First on our list is the red-shanked Duke Langur, one of the most dazzling primates alive. With fiery orange legs, crisp white forearms, and a beard that looks carved for a wise old sage, this monkey doesn't just live. It performs. Like it's dressed for a runway show deep in the jungles of Southeast Asia. But beauty this striking comes with a shadow. The red-shanked Duke Langur is critically endangered. Deforestation and hunting in Laos, Vietnam, and Cambodia have left only scattered survivors clinging to shrinking forests. So how do whispers of billionaires owning one even exist? Not through pet shops. That's impossible. Instead, rumors swirl about hidden collections and private menageries, where rare creatures are locked away from the public eye. Some have even been smuggled for sums that rival luxury cars. For the ultra-wealthy, the appeal isn't companionship, it's exclusivity. Owning a creature most people will only ever glimpse in a documentary. Not a pet, not a trophy, but a living symbol of rarity itself. And speaking of living symbols, the next one doesn't wear its beauty. It carries it on its back, like a walking galaxy. Radiated tortoise. The radiated tortoise doesn't just exist, it dazzles. Native only to Madagascar, this reptile carries one of the most mesmerizing shells in the animal kingdom. Golden starbursts radiate out from the center of each scute, forming patterns so precise they look like they were drawn with a compass. Every tortoise is unique, every design a one-of-a-kind signature from nature itself. But here's the reality: this slow-moving masterpiece is critically endangered. Decades of habitat loss combined with relentless poaching for the exotic pet trade have devastated its numbers. International law places it under strict protection, yet black markets still thrive. Prices can soar into the tens of thousands for a single specimen, smuggled across borders under the noses of authorities. So how does a billionaire acquire one? Not through pet shops, never legally. Instead, it's whispered that some are secured through covert auctions, hidden networks where money talks louder than regulations. For the ultra-rich, owning a radiated tortoise isn't about having a pet. It's about possessing a piece of living art, a creature so rare and timeless that it feels more like a jewel than an animal. But while some fortunes are spent chasing slow-moving jewels carved by nature, others are poured into something far more haunting: a predator that glides through water like a ghost. Albino alligator. The albino alligator is one of the rarest sights on Earth. Stripped of its camouflage, its skin glows snow white, and its eyes burn with an eerie pink or icy blue. At first glance, it doesn't even look real. More like a creature pulled from legend than from a swamp. Only a few dozen exist in captivity worldwide. Zoos guard them like crown jewels, and every sighting is treated as an event. On the black market, their value is impossible to pin down. They're so rare that the price isn't just money, it's access. Only those with wealth, influence, and the right connections could ever hope to claim one. For billionaires, the appeal is obvious. Imagine hosting a dinner party, and as your guests step onto a balcony overlooking a private lagoon, they see a ghost-white predator drifting silently beneath the surface. It isn't just shocking, it's unforgettable. This isn't a pet, it's a living phantom, a reminder that even nature's fiercest designs can look delicate, fragile, and utterly unreal. But if a ghostly alligator feels like nature's accident, the next creature is the opposite. A predator deliberately reimagined, reshaped by human hands into living art. Designer ball python morph. Enter the world of designer ball python morphs. These aren't ordinary snakes. Through selective breeding, they're transformed into living canvases. Some shimmer in glowing oranges and reds like a desert sunset. Others coil in deep purples and gold, and a few are born completely scaleless, smooth as polished stone. And here's where it gets wild. The rarest morphs can sell for the price of a luxury car. A single snake, no longer defined by its fangs or coils, but by the uniqueness of its pattern. So how do billionaires fit into this picture? By chasing exclusivity. Some commission breeders to create never-before-seen morphs, paying top dollar for a snake no one else in the world can own. To them, it's not about danger or companionship. It's about rarity, about holding something alive that looks like it shouldn't exist at all. A python in the wild is just another predator, but a designer morph in a billionaire's private collection, that's a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, coiling and breathing, worth more than gold. Snakes may be redesigned into jewels, but some creatures don't need any alteration at all. Cloaked in darkness, the next predator is nature's original luxury, sleek, mysterious, and feared across continents. Black panther. A black panther isn't its own species. It's a leopard in Asia or Africa, or a jaguar in the Americas, born with a rare genetic mutation called melanism. This condition floods its fur with ink-black pigment, erasing the usual golden coat and bold rosettes. Yet under moonlight or the right angle, those hidden spots reappear like ghostly tattoos. It's camouflage and spectacle in one. What makes them so rare? In the wild, melanism is unusual. Scientists estimate only about 10% of leopards carry the trait. Jaguars with melanism are even less common. Spotting one is considered a once-in-a-lifetime encounter, even for seasoned researchers. For the ultra-wealthy, that scarcity is magnetic. The panther embodies everything money can't easily buy: mystery, danger, and dominance. To whisper about owning one, legally or not, is to whisper about power beyond reach. Billionaires may fund private reserves, bankroll breeding programs, or pull strings in places where regulations blur, all in pursuit of a living shadow that commands awe with a single glance. Because while cars and mansions announce wealth, a black panther announces something greater: control over a force of nature itself. But shadows aren't the only thing the rich chase. Some look back in time, searching for creatures that blur the line between reptile and relic, animals that look less like pets and more like living dinosaurs. Sailfin dragon. The sailfin dragon, native to the rivers and forests of the Philippines and Indonesia, is one of nature's strangest survivors. At first glance, you see a lizard, but then it moves, and the illusion shatters. Rising from its back is a towering sail, a jagged crest running down its tail, turning an ordinary reptile into something prehistoric. Under sunlight, the sail glows in shades of purple, green, and steel blue, like the armor of a dragon. And here's where it gets even stranger. The sailfin dragon isn't just for show. It's an excellent swimmer, using that massive fin as a rudder to cut through rivers with surprising speed. On land, it can dash upright on its hind legs, looking eerily like a tiny velociraptor sprinting through the undergrowth. But owning one? That's where the billionaire angle comes in. These lizards are notoriously difficult to keep alive outside their natural habitat. They need enormous enclosures, tropical, humid, and constantly balanced like a living greenhouse. They demand rivers to swim in, branches to climb, and carefully managed diets to keep them thriving. Building all of this isn't just a purchase, it's a project that can cost millions. For billionaires, that challenge is the point. A sailfin dragon isn't just rare, it's a creature most people have never even heard of, let alone seen. To unveil one in a private collection is to summon gasps, to say, "I own a dinosaur the world forgot." And that's why at the very top of this list, the sailfin dragon reigns supreme, not just as a pet, but as the ultimate status symbol. Proof that with enough wealth, even prehistory can be brought into your backyard. We've seen painted monkeys, jeweled tortoises, ghostly alligators, and even living dinosaurs. For billionaires, they're not pets, they're trophies. But remember this, money can buy rarity, it can't buy back extinction. So here's the question, would you own them or protect them? Drop your answer in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories you won't believe.